Hey guys, welcome back to Lepedaler. Today we're going to be talking about shoes and what type of shoes do I recommend you get as a beginner cyclist, or maybe you're a cyclist that has a pretty, let's say, medium range shoe and you're looking to upgrade. I'm going to be giving you guys my opinion if it's worth the upgrade and what you should actually be getting as a beginner cyclist. So the video is primarily focused for beginners and what shoes they should get as their first cycling shoe. So without further ado, let's get right into this video. So guys, this was the first shoe I ever used as a beginner cyclist. This is an RO87 Shimano shoe. This uses a ratchet system. So you gotta ratchet it down. I haven't used these in forever, so it feels like ancient technology, but you basically put your shoe in, your foot in, you put your shoe into your shoe. What? So you put like that, and then to ratchet it tighter, you go like that. This is when I was using yellow cleats, but that's for another video another time. But other than the shoe, you know, Velcro, pretty standard stuff. And I looked it up. At the time, these shoes originally went for, I think it was 110 USD. So that's the first shoe, okay, that I've used, okay. Second shoe that I used is the S-Works 6's Specialized shoe, road shoe. The original price of this was $400 USD. So carbon fiber sole, boa dials. So very fine tuning for micro adjustment. Just an overall premium of the premium, what the pros were riding with at the time, shoe. And then the third shoe I ended up getting were the Giro Empires, and these were a lace-up shoe. And these ones have a carbon sole made by Easton, and these shoes were kind of my training shoes. I kept the Specialized as like my race specific shoes, but now that you guys have it, oh, and the price for this was at the time $300. Right now they're selling for $200 USD. So after a purchase of a high quality helmet has been made, which I talked about in my previous video about MIPS, and the benefits of having a very good helmet that you invest in that will protect your head long term, especially in the unfortunate event that you do have a crash. The next thing would be to consider buying shoes. And the reason why that's so important, probably I would say one of the most important things that you can do in your cycling career as just a recreational rider, or as far as you go up in the sport, is that it's the first time you'll actually really experience a connectiveness with the bike. And what that means is when you have running shoes on, you know, there's nothing connecting your power that you're producing from your legs and from your body that are going to go directly into the pedals, because if you have running shoes, you know, it's just one system on another system, which is the flat pedal or whatever pedal system, and you're losing a lot of energy, especially on the upward stroke. So on the downward stroke, you know, gravity is working with you, but it's on that upward stroke where there's nothing that's connected to the pedal to pull it up. And I was lucky because right when I got into cycling, the person that sold me the bike, my first bike, actually gave me these shoes that came with the bike. And at the time it had speed plate pedals, which is a different system than the Shimano cleats. But anyways, it was very nice because I got to experience what riding technically should be from the beginning, where some people are very, you know, very iffy about clipped in and if they can clip out in time, and they're kind of scared. And if you guys want to see a video about clipping in, clipping out, especially when it gets better weather here in Canada, I have no problem making that. But yeah, so just in terms of, you know, efficiency of power and being able to ride longer and more comfortable, having a cleat system, a pedal, a cycling shoe is so important. So that's kind of like the overview of why you should use cycling shoes as like your second big investment. So it usually goes like, first you should buy your helmet before you even buy the bike, but let's say you buy that together. And then shoes you can wait off for. But if you really want to get the best quality of riding right from the start, getting other than helmet, getting cycling shoes are so important. So I'll give you guys like kind of like from lowest to highest what I like about each shoe, and then what I would suggest to the beginner or cyclist, okay? So the thing I like about, well, this is the cheapest one, okay? So 100 USD, and this is the Shimano Ratchet shoe. So the things I like about it is price, obviously low barrier, low entry barrier in terms of price, so you don't need to spend a fortune to get a decent shoe. You know, it gets the job done, so at least you're clipped in. You do get that power transfer. You know, it's decent in terms of breathability. You know, pretty for all the kilometers I've ridden on these and the previous owner, it's done its job, and I've had these for the past 5 years now. So the fact that they've still lasted, I haven't ridden much in them now, but the fact that they're still rideable is you know, a testament to the quality. So that's kind of where the benefits of these shoes end. Now, some of the disadvantages of the shoe that I have, or the things I don't like about it, is pretty heavy. And I'm not a weight weenie, but it is, by heavy I mean thick and not super breathable in terms of long days in the saddle. So it is still breathable. It's not terrible. It's not like you have like you know, your feet are on fire of sweat during the summer, but it's just not that breathable, and I think it's because of the heavy material. The ratchet system, it's not terrible, right? But it's not very form-fitting to at least my feet. And even with the Velcro, it's not the best, especially during the midsection where, you know, I feel like a cycling shoe, I'll get into that with the more expensive ones, but the nice thing with the cycling shoes is if you have a form-fitting heel, a heel attachment, like a heel secureness of the heel is really important for power transfer. At least that's how I feel it. So, you know, for what it is, for the price you're paying, it's not terrible. However, it's a shoe that I quickly outgrew just because of how many kilometers I was actually doing on the bike and whatnot. And but definitely will get you through your first season. So the second shoe I'm going to be talking about are the Giro Empires Lace Up. These were originally selling for $300 when I bought them, but now they're going for sale for $200. And the time I bought it was when the Red Hook Crit was having a big endorsement of these shoes, and they were highlighting how nice they were. They have a reflective model. But the one thing I really liked about it and I was curious about was the lacing aspect. Because for a while, you know, the only thing you saw in the Pro Peloton were more like ratchet systems and bullet dials. So laces really intrigued me. And you know, I wanted to give these shoes a try because I heard a lot of great things in terms of breathability and the fact that not only does it create a secure, you know, a secure fit, but also it's very forgiving in terms of, you know, long days in the saddle or long rides, and it's more agile. And I'll get into that in terms of stiffness and in terms of breathability, but more so comfort. That's the big thing I wanted to touch on, was comfort of this shoe. So kind of the next features is that you do have a carbon plate. Now, compared to the cheaper Shimano shoe, like this is not carbon, like this is some type of plastic. And that's not to say that, you know, the power transfer is that different, but when you have a stiffer plate of shoe, there's gonna be less flex to it. So that's gonna be better for power transfer, where this one would flex more because it's not as stiff. Carbon soles flex less. So that's one added benefit. Now, the one thing I really liked, and this is my primary, if you guys, I'm being fully transparent, this is like kind of like my go-to training shoe. I spend a lot of hours on the trainer, so having a nice training shoe that I can use that not only will make me discomfortable, but be very comfortable, is something I really like. And the fact that the lace up sole, or upper sole, or whatever it's called, this part is very, you know, form-fitting to the shoe. You know, a lot of people get scared that, like, are the laces gonna get stuck in my drivetrain, which is like the gears part, where the crank is if you are a beginner, where your pedals are and whatnot. Like, if you secure the laces down the middle, that won't happen. They won't get undone. I've done probably like multiple, like so far this year I've done a lot of hours and I've not had a problem yet. Again, I've had this shoe for like more than like 3 years. So I've not had a problem with them like getting undone or loose to the point where you would have to like micro adjust. Now, and that's the thing where, like, for the everyday shoe, like training shoe, racing shoe, this does the job. The only thing is that sometimes your feet may swell, depends. And the only thing that kind of sucks is like micro adjustment. But the one thing with this is that it's forgiving enough where, you know, a micro adjustment, you know, it would just slightly, you know, flex. Where on the Bullet shoe, which I'll get into, is that it's really form fitting. So it feels like, I'm gonna get into it, it feels as if like you're wearing, it's kind of like when you wear a bib versus like, you know, just normal shorts or whatnot. You know, a bib just feels like it's very form fitting, you're very secure, where if you were just wearing you know, normal pants and cycling, you could feel the wind and whatnot. So I'm not saying it's that dramatic, but you can tell the difference. So very good on price. Now we go to the elite of the elite shoe at the time. This was 2016, I believe. This was going for 400 USD, more expensive in Canada where I'm from. The one things I loved about it was, it's probably the top of the top line. Did I need this shoe? Probably not. Did I benefit from the shoe? I would say yes. You know, there is one thing to say, when you do have equipment that makes you feel good, and not only makes you feel good, but does actually encourage you to perform better, you know, you're gonna want to ride. Like I don't think you don't feel that good wearing this. Not that it matters, right? And I know a lot of people don't want, you know, snobbiness in cycling, and neither do I. Like, no matter, like I said, at the end of the day, no matter what you ride, you know, as long as you're riding. But I feel like if you're spending lots of hours in the saddle, it's kind of nice to have a shoe that really encourages you to ride and actually performs better, where this one just feels like very clunky. And that's kind of like my evolution, which after I kind of outgrew this shoe, I was like, you know what, I want a shoe that really is gonna last and is gonna encourage me to ride. And right now I've had this shoe for, like I said, I think three years, and it's still holding up very good. This is like my go-to shoe for like events or racing. And the one thing I love about it is that in terms of the heel, like your heel does stay in place. It's very, very secure. They have, I don't know what material this is, but it's a hard plastic material that kind of really keeps your ankle in. And the BOA dial is amazing. These two BOA dials right here are amazing for fine tuning and to make adjustments while you're on the bike. So you get a very dialed in, specific fit. Carbon fiber plate, sole plate, which is amazing for power transfer. Like I said, with the Giro Empires, those are very firm. So the power transfer, you don't lose anything there. And the only downside with this shoe was comfort. So even though you do get micro adjustment compared to, you know, the lace ups or even the Ratchet system, this iteration of the S-Works shoe was very stiff. So it was good, because I think with the previous iteration of this shoe, it was like a little bit more like softer on the heel and whatnot. So it's a lot more, even the Giro Empires, they squish more. This one, because of the plastic heel, you know, it secures your foot more, which is good. But I guess from rider feedback, including myself, that when they went to make the S-Works 7s, you know, people wanted a balance of not only the heel cup, but also the comfort of, say, the Giro Empires with the squishiness on the heel. So that's why I feel like the S-Works 7s is probably the best of both worlds when it compares like this type of shoe with this type of shoe in terms of comfort. So it's like if the S-Works and Giros came together, they would create the S-Works 7s. If you guys are curious, this is what the S-Works 7s look like. Hopefully that would be my next purchase, and I'd probably keep these as a beater shoe or sell them. So my quick recap is the Shimano shoes, for the lowest price, they get the job done. They're obviously better than running shoes because you do have the upward strength from being clipped into your pedals. So it's a lot better than just a normal running shoe. The only downside I see is the ratchet system's not the best, not the most comfortable, especially with Velcro. You know, the back heel, very squishy, very thick, so you will be a little bit sweaty. This plate is not the best for power transfer. Then again, as a beginner, you might not even realize that. But if you do enough riding, and then you'll probably feel it a little bit, but like I said, not substantial. Those are just little critiques I have from having a little bit more expensive, higher quality shoes, but not the end of the world. So it does get the job done. So I won't fault them. Pretty good beginner shoe. But the downside, the biggest downside, is you will have to upgrade from these shoes. Okay, that's the downside. Is that this shoe, like if you really, let's say you put in the kilometers for your first season or even two, within the next third or even second season, you will want to upgrade from these. Okay, that's the reality. Okay. So maybe in the long run, you're not really saving money. In the short hand, you are, but I don't suggest it. Now, let's go with the top end, okay? What I like about the top end is, you know, if you're racing or you want to get the full quality of what a shoe can offer, you know, it's not a bad bargain. Then again, for the price and for what you're getting, there's definitely better shoes in terms of price ratio versus, you know, functionality that can do just as good a job, if not better, depending on what you find comfortable or what you like. One thing I won't fault about these shoes is, yet again, with shoes in general, there'll always be very good deals that come out with shoes. So sometimes now, like even with this shoe, it's actually going on for $200. But that's because, like, you know, they were selling out a lot of the other sizes, and the only current size for this shoe is size 41. But there was a time period where I'm pretty sure you could have got a discounted S-Word 6 shoe. So, you know, if money is, you know, somewhat tight, you can always find a shoe that's, you know, was once a premium shoe, but now it's coming down because there's a new model that's out. Now that model most likely will be better because iterations usually should be better. Just like in this case, the new S-Works are, from when I tried them on and, you know, got a feeling of the shoe, it is better. But for a premium shoe, you know, for what you get, you do get premium features. But then again, for a beginner, are those features really going to be used within the first season or even the second season? Most likely not. And the return on the investment in terms of, you know, keeping the shoe for 6 years or whatnot, I don't think it's worth it. You're better off going into the Giro Empire, which is the medium range of shoe, even though at one point it was, you know, a little bit medium high, because it was $300 originally, now it's $200. And they also have a knitted version, which I think is a little bit cheaper. So for $200, you know, that's a very good price. You get the carbon sole, which is very similar. Obviously, I'm pretty sure the sole is a little bit higher quality, if not maybe very similar. Or maybe, I don't know, because I'm not a carbon fiber expert, but you get a carbon fiber sole, you get a very comfortable overall shoe that you can race in, that you can train in, that you can do long endurance rides in. Like, it's the best of both worlds. Now, if laces aren't your thing, I do believe there is like a hybrid that Giro should offer, but then again, don't knock it until you try it. I was more of a bow tie from the beginning, but laces are my thing. Like, I really do like lace-up shoes. And overall, they have served me very well. So, you know, it's kind of like the good old Goldilocks, okay? You know, you can't go for the most expensive unless you really feel like you're gonna get those benefits. Like, I do believe I would have a slightly better overall experience for my riding if I did get the S-Works 7s. Then again, did I run out and buy it right now? No, because I know at the end of the day, it's me as a cyclist that's gonna make the biggest difference in performance. So it's not a performance thing, it's more just like comfort, mix of style. And we can pretend that style isn't important, but when you do look good, you do feel good. And that's what kind of I've realized too, is that, you know, I don't need the most expensive equipment, but equipment that is very nice and functional will encourage me to ride. But then again, at the low end too, you know, unless you're like very, very tight on money in terms of equipment and whatnot, like I rather everyone buy the Shimano shoes. Like, I rather, if you're debating like this, between this and saving like $100, I'd rather you guys do that and put the money towards a better helmet. Because at the end of the day, having a helmet that's going to protect your head is the best ROI, right? That's the best return on your investment because you're actually protecting yourself, right? But so let's say, you know, you can afford, luckily, the MIPS, or a good quality helmet, and you're looking to spend, you know, some money. You know, it's better to spend it on the shoes and whatnot than even the jersey. Like, that's another topic, right? But like, shoes is like the next big important thing, in my opinion, for other than bibs. Like, it's a hard one because, you know, if down there is not feeling too good on your seat, on your saddle, you won't want to ride no matter how good the shoes. So however, I think like the Goldilocks principle of having, you know, a medium range that kind of hits all the points is the best. So you want a comfortable shoe, fairly priced. I think $200 is a very fair price for a shoe that's gonna last easily 3 to 4 seasons. Like I said, I've had this shoe since I think 2017. So 3 years going on, maybe 4. Very good shoe. Hits all the boxes for comfort, for functionality, for performance, and it has the best of everything. So that's what I suggest. I'm not like sponsored, or I bought these with my own money at the time, so I do rate the Giro Empires. You should give them a look on whatever website you sell. I'd say the best beginner shoe in terms of price, especially with the price being $200 now. You can't go wrong. It's, you know, at 300 was a tough one to justify if you're a beginner, but 200, it's gonna be amazing quality of ride, and nothing really to fear there. So if you guys did enjoy the video and liked my suggestion of what's a really good beginner cycling shoe, please leave a like down below. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I'll have more content for you guys to you know, listen and observe and learn from what I've learned from cycling, and you guys can apply it so you don't maybe make the same mistakes maybe I have. But also comment if you guys want to see a specific video. I have no problem taking suggestions and thinking of a video idea and creating it. And until then, keep on pedaling. Lepedaler out.